There are 4 lines by Vairocana, the great Tibetan master and translator, that go like this. Within the inconceivable naked state of Dharmadhatu, place ineffable awareness undistractedly. If a thought arises, it arises out of yourself and dissolves into yourself. There is no basic view, meditation, or instruction superior to this. These 4 lines spoken by Vairocana are the heart of all view, meditation, and conduct. You hear about the vital unity of space and awareness, of Yin and Rigpa. Yin is the Tibetan term for Dhatu, referring to Dharmadhatu, the naked state of basic space. Dharmadhatu is not something you can think of, as it is not conceptual. The inconceivable, or literally unimagined Dharmadhatu, is not an object of thought. Within this basic state, without distraction, simply leave Rigpa, awareness, which is ineffable. Leave inexpressible awareness undistractedly within that. A thought may arise out of yourself, but it dissolves into yourself. A thought moves out of your own awareness, but the moment you recognize what thinks, it dissolves within your own essence. What is meant by basic space, Dharmadhatu? It means unconstructed, with no beginning, no present, and no end. It has no name. It is beyond cause or condition, just like physical space. We have never been apart from unconstructed space, not for even one instant. It is the very nature of mind. It is the primordially empty and rootless innate nature, the nature of Dharmata. All other things come from somewhere. They have a source, but unconstructed space does not. Failing to simply know that our nature is unconstructed space is called unknowing, ignorance, ma rigpa. Knowing this with natural cognizance is called rigpa. Without the cognizant nature, which is indivisible from unconstructed space, there would be no ability to know the reality of what is. This indivisibility is described as the unity of space and awareness, or the unity of space and wakefulness. The unity of these two qualities is also symbolized by Samantabhadra with his consort. Basic space is Samantabhadri, and the wakefulness of knowing is Samantabhadra. This unity is our true nature. The space quality is Dharmakaya. The quality of self-knowing wakefulness is Sambhogakaya. And the moment of acknowledging this unity is called Namanakaya. In reality, the three kayas are our own nature. If you fail to recognize what is real, then conditioned experience takes over in an innumerable variety of ways. Experience is then seen as objects perceived by a mind perceiving, giving rise to thoughts, emotions, the creation of karma, and the states of samsaric existence, which are endlessly produced in all kinds of different ways. This is called dharmata, getting overtaken by dharmas, reality, overtaken by conditioned phenomena. However, in the moment of recognizing your natural face, conditioned dharmas dissolve into dharmata. Here's an analogy. In this world you have day and night. Dharmata is like daytime, and conditioned dharmas are like night. During the day, the darkness has subsided, and you cannot find it anywhere. Likewise, the moment of not recognizing Rigpa is like the daylight fading into darkness. This is of course a crude example, but the principle is that delusion vanishes the moment you recognize Rigpa, just as darkness subsides at the break of day. All of samsara and all of nirvana, all these states take place nowhere other than within one single basic space. During all these myriad experiences, you can recognize your natural face. When recognizing this basic space, there is no other samsara to abandon, no other nirvana to accomplish. For ordinary sentient beings, there is day and night. During the day, darkness has subsided. At night time, daylight has subsided. There are two different terms, day and night. But in actuality, there is only one basic space, which is sometimes dark, sometimes light. During the day, darkness is latent. Likewise, thoughts and confusion subside into latency. At night, it is the light that is latent. Like light during the night, the wakefulness of knowing is still latent, potentially present within the state of ignorance. It does not mean that Rigpa, Yeshe, disappears or is irretrievably lost. It is only latent during dualistic mind. After recognizing Rigpa, training, and attaining some stability, the thoughts vanish, much like the night disappears when the sun rises. For the primordial Buddha, Rigpa, there is no duality of samsara and nirvana. For someone who has not recognized it all, or has only glimpsed this, there is definitely day and night, samsara and nirvana. There is either being caught up in thinking, or there is a moment of Rigpa. During either of these two times, the opposite state is latent. To continue Varotsana's verse, if a thought arises, it arises out of yourself and dissolves into yourself. Thoughts do not come from some other place. They arise out of your own mind. If you know your nature, they dissolve into yourself as well, like drawing upon the surface of water. The drawing upon water and the dissolving of this drawing are simultaneous. Like the track left behind by a bird while flying through the sky, it is traceless. There is no basic view, meditation, or instruction superior to this. The moment you recognize Rigpa as the view, this is the meditation training, this is the conduct, and this is the fruition. At that moment, all of samsara and nirvana are subsumed within the state of Rigpa in one sweep. When you are fully stable in the recognition of Rigpa, samsara has totally vanished into nirvana, and there is neither distraction during day nor confusion during night. There is only one, the oneness of Rigpa. The actual meaning of meditation state in Buddhism is equality, composure, equanimity. In the moment of recognizing Rigpa, there is no need to accept or reject, avoid or adopt, hope or fear. There is an evenness, regardless of the situation. The very basis for such equanimity is this present wakefulness, without which we would be corpses, only physical bodies, material forms. Yet now we are alive because of this present wakefulness. Once you recognize this present wakefulness that does not accept or reject, affirm or deny, hope or fear, that in itself is sufficient. It is not your mind from yesterday, or from last night, tomorrow, or next month. It is this very moment, right now. Where is it? Can you find it? Can you find this instant? Recognize this instantaneous wakefulness. Let your mind recognize itself. And immediately know that there is no thing to be seen. This is just as Khakyab Dorje, the third Karmapa, sang. When observing objects, they are seen to be the mind, devoid of objects. When observing the mind, there is no mind, as it is empty of an entity. When observing both, dualistic fixation is spontaneously freed. May we realize the luminous nature of mind. When examining outer objects, you understand that there are no real objects. There is only the perceiving mind. Recognizing the nature of this mind, you find no entity. When looking into both subject and object, the fixation on duality dissolves. The existence of a concrete object and a separate concrete subject simply falls away. The duality of perceiver and perceived collapses. May we realize the luminous nature of mind. Here, luminous refers to the fact that Rigpa is empty and yet cognizant. Physical space cannot be lucid. It has no capacity to know either itself or something else. This is why Rigpa is called unconfined, empty cognizance, suffused with knowing. It is the unerring, original, natural state. If you do not contrive it in any way, but simply let be what it is, then right now, the awakened state is spontaneously present. Your immediate, natural, present wakefulness is itself the true samatthapatra. In short, giving up doer and deed, rest in non-doing. When you train in giving up doer and deed, you will approach non-action. Doer and deed refers to the subject-object structure. When you recognize mind essence, do you find any place from which your thinking arises? Any place where it dwells? Any location into which it vanishes? Right then and there, you have reached non-action. Consider this. Have you ever been able to find a place where space came out of? A place where it began? A place where it abides and into which it will disappear? This is described as devoid of mental constructs, beyond arising, dwelling, and ceasing. It is also called non-action. When something does not arise, dwell, and cease, it is 100% certain that it is empty. So, mind is empty. But if it were only empty, it would be impossible to have pleasure and pain, or the experiences of Buddha fields and hells. Since they are definitely possible, it proves that mind is both empty and cognizant. Because of this, there is samsara and nirvana, pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, the results of virtuous actions, the higher realms and Buddha fields, and the results of negative deeds, which are the 3 lower realms and the suffering that comes with these. There is samsara below, nirvana above, and in between, the path that is the karmic actions of good and evil. All this cannot be denied. It is all like a dream. We have not yet woken up from the deep sleep of ignorance. Usually we dream while we sleep. The moment we wake up, we do not dream anymore. Buddhas and bodhisattvas are like somebody who has already awakened from sleep. There are all these different dreams, pleasant, unpleasant, fascinating, horrifying. But at the moment we wake up, where are they? Where do they go? Since they are just habitual tendencies, how can they come from anywhere or go anywhere? Similarly, all the different experiences that arise during the day take place within the framework of dualistic mind. The moment dualistic mind is suspended in Rigpa, the moment thinking dissolves, the outcome is the wakefulness of knowing, Rigpa Yeshe, which is essence without thought. I have told you the story of mind. Now you need to train in the unfabricated present wakefulness that is only possible through recognition. Knowing how to recognize mind essence is similar to turning on the light. It doesn't come on unless you press the switch. When you have pressed the switch, when the light is on, you naturally meet empty cognizance, suffused with knowing. This is exactly what sentient beings never do. They don't know how to recognize. They don't switch on their light. If they did, this one taste of empty cognizance, suffused with knowing, would automatically be present. Because our own nature is Dharmata. Our essence is Rigpa. But even if sentient beings do happen to glimpse the natural state, they do not know what it is. They fail to acknowledge it. And it turns into the indifferent state of the all-ground. When you are face to face with your nature, if you do not begin any striving in terms of samatha and vipassana, or ordinary confusion, you have already seen the essence of mind. It looks like no thing whatsoever, because it is no thing whatsoever. There is no thing that you can label or describe. No thing about which you can form concepts. It is beyond thought, word, or description. This is prajna paramita, transcendent knowledge, since it transcends any subject and any object to be known. Let me repeat again the famous quote. Transcendent knowledge is beyond thought, word, and description. It neither arises nor ceases, like the identity of space. It is the domain of individual, self-knowing wakefulness. To this mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I pay homage.